From the NMSU Department of Journalism and Media Studies in collaboration with KRWG, this is the student-produced News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Miguel Montenegro.
And I'm Nina Gallegos. The city of El Paso is seeing a lot less people coming through their border in the last year. Arrests dropped by 40% according to a report from U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
This drop is due to President Joe Biden preventing illegal immigrants who cross the southern border unlawfully from receiving asylum and limited the entry of certain non-citizens. Most encounters happen in at the Xanadu Teresa port of entry, according to KRWG-Public information, Officer London Hutchins.
Now, I went to school today thinking it was going to be a cold day. I was wearing a jacket. I was ready for that cold weather.
And Tristan, what can you tell us more about it? It's going to cool off later on tonight?
Now, it will cool off later on tonight. Let me get out of the way over here. Now, the skies are pretty clear. Temps are going to drop down to about 61. We got a wind speed of about 19 miles an hour. Humidity 19%. Wish that would go up. With the dew point of 12 degrees and the barometer reading of 29.88. It was a gorgeous day today. Now, we got a high of 76 today, an average of 73, and it might drop down to around the 40s. Now, record highs in 1973 was 81. And the record low was 25 degrees in 2018. Wow. Not really a lot of precipitation today at all. And throughout the year, about 4.28 inches. Back to the desk. Back to the desk.
Stay tuned. Tristan will be back with your national forecast.
And later, we'll take you to Camino Real Middle School, where esports is latest trend. More on that when News 22 continues.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Tuesday,
where news matters.
Who would have thought that playing video games could lead to a career pathway? That's exactly what's happening all around the country.
News 22 Jacqueline Reese takes us to Camino Real Middle School, where young gamers are looking for the future.
At Camino Real Middle School, students are offered an esports class.
Can we do a 2v2?
Students come because they love the game, which also teaches some other skills.
Some things that I've learned in esports is just like working with other people and like communicating.
Although a lot of people think it's just playing video games in a corner, a lot of it is learning like how the world works and just basically a new view on the world through gaming.
Esports has built a community for these young gamers. And esports teacher Deborah Sofera has opened their eyes to the gaming opportunities.
It does go beyond just game players. We have shoutcasters, we have different genres, we have game developers, everybody that's behind the scenes as well as the players themselves. A lot of our players aspire to work in that as a career later on, not just piddling and playing with the video games themselves.
In the Las Cruces public schools, they have embraced esports classes, and it's even been sanctioned by New Mexico Activities Association. Some universities even offer esports majors and scholarships.
I mean, you're just taking this nice and easy.
NMSU esports student president Victor Sierra wants the esports program to go farther than just a club. He wants NMSU to adopt esports as a minor.
Right now, our challenge is trying to figure out the direction we want to take it to. So if we want to do more like game design, stuff like that, or if we want to focus more on the business side, because there's esports business, it's just kind of all up in the air, and that's what we're working towards, hopefully within the next year or two, to try to get something going here at NMSU.
He's hoping the minor in esports will be a reality before these Camino Real students get to college. Jacqueline Reese, News 22.
I know for one, I'm grateful to be in the Southwest where we're still feeling a little bit of that heat.
Yes, and Tristan, what can you tell us more about it?
Now, it has been pretty warm here in the Southwest. We've still been looking at some late summer temperatures. Now, what we're looking at across the state. So in SF, we're looking at about 60s, cloudy 60s in the Bay Area. In Chicago, about 50. Watch out for that wind chill. Moving over to my sailors in Norfolk, we're looking at about 62 and sunny. Hopefully you all aren't out to sea. Maybe you are. And down over here in El Paso, we're looking at a warm 78. Now in my next map, so we're looking at some average highs right now. And as we can see, fall is here. Now, northern U.S., it's going to be cold, very cold, 30s, 40s. Whereas in this green belt over here, like around Kansas City, Denver, and stuff like that, we're looking at about 50s. And like we said earlier, as we go down south, it's going to get warmer and warmer. And if I move way over here, Miami, if you can see that, is in the 80s. Wild. And on my final map. Now, what we're looking at over here is some cold and warm fronts. Now, we have a warm front going through the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Kansas. Now, we also have a cold front over here, so it's not going to get too warm, but just a little bit. Now, we have a cold front going down this way, and that's going to be going through Wyoming, Colorado, and Arizona, and you're going to have some storms up in Montana, Wyoming, as well as Washington and Oregon, and up in the far northern East Coast. And that's all we have for our national weather. Welcome back. Let's talk about our local temps. Now in Farmington it was 44, in Santa Fe it was a very cold 39, in Socorro it was 55, and in Roswell the aliens were cold and it's nice 61 degrees, and in the city of Cruces also 61. And tomorrow's looking a little warmer. Santa Fe is still going to be a cold 48, but Clovis is looking like a 67. Roswell has gone up 6 degrees to 67. Ruidoso is going to be 61. Las Cruces is going to be 70, and Deming will be 69 degrees. Now, tonight it's going to get to about a low 55, and tomorrow we're looking at a high of 60 in Alamogordo. In Tier C, tonight's going to be cold 57, but tomorrow it'll come up to about 66. Maybe wear a sweater. In beautiful Silver City, it is going to be cold, a cold 44, but tomorrow it should warm back up to 64. And in the city of Cruces, it is going to be 58, so light sweater, but tomorrow's going to be 70, so you might want to avoid that sweater. Back to the desk.
And Varvara is next with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, the Aggies fell to Western Kentucky. You can toss that remote because News 22 Sports is next.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
For the win! He got it!
New Mexico State rushed for over 300 yards, but 5 turnovers led to a 41-28 loss to Western Kentucky on Saturday. Despite trailing 24-7 at halftime, the Aggies cut the lead to 3 points in the third quarter, but the Hilltoppers pulled away in the second half. Mike Washington rushed for 158 yards and Seth McGowan added 119 yards. New Mexico State became the second team this season to score more than 21 points against Western Kentucky's defense. The Aggies will face Texas A&M on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Game will be streamed on the CAC network. The Las Cruces Bulldogs beat the West Mesa Mustangs 49-7 on Friday, improving to 8-3 on the season. Las Cruces dominated West Mesa this past week and will face Volcano Vista in a big game at Nuzenda Stadium during a neutral playoff the game on November 15th. Mesilla Valley Christian School continued their strong playoff run on Saturday, defeating Tatum Coyotes 36-22. Their fourth straight win improved the Sun Blazers' record to 9-1. The Coyotes' loss ended a 3-game road win streak, dropping their record to 6-6. Mesilla Valley Christian will face Fort Sumner at 1 p.m. on Saturday. It promises to be a tough game. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Tristan will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
Let's take a look at our top stories.
Abigail Salas showed us how some parents are making sure their children are safe while they use their cell phone and online. We went to Camino Real Middle School where students are looking to the future of video games.
So we should probably take a look at our 5-day forecast. Now, Wednesday through Friday, we're looking at a high in the 70s and lows in about the 40s. Saturday, it's going to get a little cloudy, but with the highs of 74 and 44. Now, Sundays, you're going to want to take your car out and get that free car wash because we're supposed to get rain, and it's going to be in the 60s to 30s.
And that's all for News 22 Tuesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night for more news. I'm Miguel Montenegro.
And I'm Nina Gallegos. And from the whole News 22 team, Barbara, Tristan, Miguel, and myself, good night.